dirt roads to rock crawling, two-buck chuck to screaming eagle, moonshine to 50-year-old single malt. We talk about it all here on Wheelin' Wine and Whiskey with your hosts, Jason and Chris.
Welcome to Wheelin' Wine and Whiskey, episode 183, back in the home studio.
Hey.
Hey, who are you?
I'm Lorenzo.
You sound like Chris. Wait, are you Jason? What's going on here?
There was a little kerfuffle in the last episode.
Kerfuffle? What's a kerfuffle?
You closed out that last episode, not me.
Yeah, how did that feel?
That was weird.
It's like when Dolly says, "We're out." She stole our tagline.
I know, and I'm gonna.
And so did
Amber.
No, did Amber steal it too?
Oh, Amber's done it.
Okay, we got to put a trademark on this because the Talent Tank also said it as well.
I know, yeah. Wyatt
said, "We're out," and that we started that.
I know. We're gonna have
we trademarked that. We're gonna have to get some reparations here. Right, Lorenzo?
Hell yeah.
We need some reparations.
That's a big word.
It is a big word. Okay, well, hey, here we are.
Yeah.
183. And this is just...
one step closer to 200.
Oh, my gosh, that's crazy.
What are we going to do for 200?
And the Snail Boys are coming up on 350.
350?
And they started after us, but then they started doing 2 a week, which is taxing.
I didn't know that. I figured they wouldn't last this long at 2 a week, but they've been cranking them out.
I lost the bet on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's a lot of... That's a lot of right there.
Well, I don't think either one of them work. So
no, they got these simple jobs.
Sorry, Tyler.
No golf course superintendents or anything like that in there. But it's great. I mean, that's amazing, and it's amazing for us coming up here on 200, which. Honestly, I didn't think it'd last this long. No offense, Chris, but I didn't think it'd last.
Well, we haven't killed each other yet. But at the same time, life has been throwing us all sorts of curveballs over the last 2.5 years. Almost 3 years. I mean, it'll be 3 years next spring, right?
And and then the cool thing is it's been a constant in this world of unconstant and bullshit and it's something that I look forward to every week. I'm constantly, as we're doing stuff or whatever, it's like thinking of content and IG stuff. And, it's a fun diversion to real world.
Yeah, I think it's as much a diversion for us as it is, and it's fun for the listeners to listen to.
And that's where I was going with it. It's a mutual thing because I constantly get messages on the gram there of like, "Hey guys, thanks. You made my long commute, better, and I look forward to hearing your podcast every week." And that's what keeps us going. I mean,
Absolutely.
It's super freaking cool, and I totally appreciate it. Each and every listener out there, it's amazing that this thing's still going and the life of its own that has taken on, the life that Lorenzo has taken on, and he's living his best life. So, it's all good. But,
donkeys, they get a bowl full of bourbon every morning. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Well, he's cut back, but he kicks it up every once in a while. Lets his hair down like you do, so it's all good. Lets his mane down.
I can't do that very often, but sometimes I do.
No. So, okay. So this episode is going to be. We got a couple cool things to talk about in this episode.
Yeah.
I went wheeling. Surprise! Did you go wheeling?
No, that was my wedding anniversary.
So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Did you get lucky?
Maybe. That's personal, dude.
Oh, is that personal? Okay.
Yeah. No, 27 years of marital bliss.
So you didn't get lucky, is what you're saying? 27 years.
We had a date night. It was wonderful. We went out to dinner and a movie, and it was great. So stayed in town, went to see a rom-com, which,
what is that?
Happy wife, happy life, And
what is that?
Romantic comedy.
Oh, a romantic comedy rom-com. I've never heard of that before.
You never heard that?
No.
We went and saw Ticket to Paradise.
Oh, boy.
With George Clooney and Julia Roberts.
Yeah, I've heard. Okay.
And it was fun. I mean, it's a fun movie. They go to sabotage their daughter's wedding in Bora Bora or Fiji or wherever the hell it was they went. I hope I didn't just break my phone.
I don't know. You got to be careful over there.
So yeah, and then we went out to dinner afterwards to Sauce, which is always
that's a good barbecue restaurant.
Great barbecue.
Love that.
I mean, their prices have gotten a little high, but
everything's gone up. Have you noticed? I mean, everybody's noticed, but I mean, it's everything.
Everything.
So,
eggs, milk.
I will
gas,
interject
diesel.
one thing real quick because I'm on the road almost every day. Traveling between all these different job sites.
Yep.
And, once in a while I'll bring lunch with me, but most of the time I don't. And, we were talking about it a couple episodes ago. It's like Subway sandwich and a drink and, chips is like $14.
Yeah, no shit.
And so,
since Subway's revamped their menu, they've really ramped up the prices.
And it's good. I love the good old Subway. Of course, you get an In-N-Out burger or something once in a while, and that's a good deal. We talked about that. You can get an In-N-Out and a soda and fries for, like $10 or so. But good old Safeway, man, you can't beat there. Good sandwich, soda, chips, $8.
Oh yeah,
out the door. And then there's sushi, Safeway sushi, which is hard for me to say.
Miss on that.
I've been lucky. I've rolled the dice. I've played the roulette game, and I've been lucky so far.
Yeah.
Especially if they're making it right in front of you. It's like, okay, and I asked, and it's, it's all good. Luckily I got a pretty good stomach, but man, I mean, that's a good, quick little. I love sushi, and so, anyways, just I wanted to interject that
you
sandwich
totally interrupted my story.
Oh, hey, well, welcome to the Trail Hero Slick Rock episode where Chris interrupted the hell out of me. It was amazing. I could even get my story out. That's how good I am.
It was great. No, yeah, went to Sauce afterwards and had a great dinner. It was a little loud in the restaurant, but we had service was wonderful. The quality of the food is always good. I love the burn ends, man. You can't.
I love the burn ends on the brisket. There, you get the brisket, and their sauce is really good.
Yeah, and they had. You got to be careful with that. The hot.
The roof. Hot is hot.
The hot tin roof is pretty lively.
Tin roof, rusted. You know what that's from?
No.
Tin roof, rusted.
Negative Ghost Rider.
Oh my gosh!
I don't know. We're not on the same page. Anyway, so
Love Shack, baby.
Shit. Love Shack. B-52s.
Yeah, there you go.
Gotcha.
There
okay.
You go. But that's one of the most common missed lyrics that people come up with all kinds of other different sayings for it. Yeah, but anyways, we won't go into that now. But yeah, tin roof, rusted. Okay, done.
So that's why I wasn't wheeling. I was spending time with my beloved wife of 27 years. So, and people like Kevin Jones are like, oh, she'll love this, the quiet and solitude. Go wheeling with Jason, and I'm like,
she wouldn't. No. She would not have had fun on Rubicon.
No. Kevin's like, ditch her and go wheeling. And I'm like, no, I ain't gonna do that.
Well,
that's one day a year that I want to dedicate to my
absolutely,
bride,
absolutely.
So.
That's fine. You missed out on a hell of a trip that we're gonna get into here in a minute.
But I did for sure.
Totally understandable, and that's cool. And you're still married, so it must have worked out okay for you
for at least another year. Well, it doesn't need.
Well, I was going to say it's not guaranteed. Nothing's guaranteed in this world, Chris.
There are no guarantees. Hell, I could drop dead in 5 minutes. Who knows?
Yes. Unfortunately, that is.
How'd that get dark?
I don't know. That's welcome. Even Lorenzo's shaking his head over there. He's like, really?
Well,
he put his head down like Carlos in that video of watching Kevin Jones cut off the back half of the car just now.
Oh, come on, man. Don't make me laugh so hard. How are your ribs, by the way?
You know what? They are, I would say they're like 98% healed. I thought they were fully healed. But the other day, I like rolled over on them or something, and it's like, whoa. Still a little sensitivo.
All right, well, maybe you need to get up in the Jeep and pressure wash.
I think we're good. I don't have any internal bleeding or anything that I know of. I've lasted this long. It's been like 9 weeks.
You haven't coughed up any blood or anything?
No. It's been like 9-10 weeks. So
all right, perfect.
I'm telling you, bourbon is a cure-all for everything.
You're going to live forever if you live.
Well, I hope so. I want to be like George Burns. I don't smoke, but I drink. So maybe I'm the who's a bit.
He's
Frank
dead.
Sinatra.
Right?
Well, I know, but he lived to be 100 something.
I'm going to shoot these planes down. Seriously.
Well, they got a lot of planes going here. We're out by the campfire in my backyard, just trying to get you to see what it's like camping again.
All right. No, I love camping. It's just, it's whatever. Anyway, so we got a few things to talk about. We got some little bit of business to conduct before we get into the trip.
Let's get caught up with business.
I do want to say, part of the business is always, reading some of the reviews, and we're a little light on reviews. I got nothing.
You got nothing?
No reviews.
Because we're not giving away a winch. That's why.
We're not giving away.
We're not bribing people for reviews.
We threw the bribe word down. The B word.
They're almost there.
We have several thousand downloads a week, and we really need our listeners to step up and write some reviews.
So that's a good point. So, it's those little things that help. So, we'll just throw it out there right now. Just a simple review, like just text, get on. Unfortunately, it's got to be Apple because for some reason Apple rules the world.
Yeah,
and you don't have to be.
Reviews,
they do, but it doesn't weigh on the
not so much
the survey
algorithm.
The algorithm. That's what I was looking for. Thank you. So. I know there's people out there on both sides of the fence. You absolutely love Apple or you hate Apple. Okay, fine. If you hate Apple, just log on real quick onto the Apple website.
Don't make us beg.
Make a quick thing and just put Toyota suck, and then that's it. And that's all the only review we need.
But 5 stars.
Is super 5-star Toyota suck. Done. Okay? If you own a Toyota, you're a Toyota owner, or a Toyota owner, you can put great podcast. Sorry, but Toyota suck. Whatever. That's fine. I don't care what you put. But anyways, it does help in reality and being we're making fun, but it is something that helps us out. Of course, our Barrel Society helps us out.
Right.
We took a leap of faith. Have we talked about this yet, Chris?
What's
our
that?
leap of faith? We are an official LLC now.
I don't think we've officially
announced it yet.
Yeah, we're in business. We have official business now.
Wheeling Wine and Whiskey is in business. Step up to the bar.
We don't have employees, but we have tax ID numbers.
Well, Lorenzo's an employee. He's very taxing on the business here.
Yeah.
But no, after 3 years, we figured, hey, let's make this legit. Let's have some tax write-offs of this deal, and then we got the Element fire extinguisher going which has been super successful. And our whole goal with that whole deal was just to get a working fire extinguisher in everybody's rig on the trail.
Absolutely.
Because we all have the stories, and they may or may not work. I just heard a story, somebody that had a 15-year-old fire extinguisher, and it worked and put out a fire. Great.
Awesome.
But it hadn't been recertified, every year like it's supposed to. So
was it in the green? It was probably in the green.
It was in the green. Oh yeah,
all
sure.
Right.
It checked out fine on the gauge, but that doesn't mean that it's going to work. There's several stories that, just the quick poof. And I was just talking to Andy McDaniels, who's Rescue 3 for KOH and Ford and a bunch of desert stuff, and he had a 30-pounder that did that on a car. 30-pounder.
That's a big extinguisher.
And it went poof. And I'm like, oh, shit. So
imagine lugging that thing for 100 years.
Well, that's it. That's no small deal. But it's just the environment that we're in off-roading is harsh.
Absolutely.
And, we've seen these stand up, and I just want everybody to be safe and make it available out there. So, again, it's a product that we believe in, and that's why we're promoting it.
Exactly.
And so we got it on the website now. It's like front page center.
Yep.
If you want to go and check that out, wheelingwineandwhiskey.com. Element fire extinguisher comes up. You can hit that. There's a discount code. It may or may not still be working now. If it isn't, DM me on the IG, and maybe we can hook you up.
Yep.
No promises. Lorenzo's getting pretty stingy over here. He's like, dude, you've been giving away the farm over here. And he lives on the farm, so he notices when I give away the farm.
When there's not enough hay or oats for him,
exactly. Because grain makes whiskey. So he's very familiar with that now from listening to the podcast. So, anyways, we appreciate the support in any little way you can. You listen, and that's enough for us too. So
absolutely,
just whatever it is, we're not having our hands out here and oh, you are. I'm not.
Begging.
I'm not. No, this is a side gig for us.
Right.
We've had fun with it. It's lasted this long. We got some expenses covered, which is awesome.
Absolutely.
To get some of this cool gear and stay current.
The sound quality is everything.
Yeah, and that's a big thing. Chris over there, keeping the Darth Vader breathing down and stuff, and the sound quality there. So that's key. So, anyways, with that, let's move on.
Yeah.
What else? What other business we got? We got some voicemails.
Yeah, we do.
Stuff,
We have a voicemail to play, and that's timely.
Is it timely?
I believe so.
Okay, let's see here. Boy, let's see.
Do you remember how to do it?
I think so. Let's see if it comes up. All right, here we go. We got to Lorenzo, get your hooves off my phone, I should say.
Have you seen Lorenzo's new phone?
He's just
it's
banging away on this thing, and I'm like, come on, dude.
With his hooves, he needs a 4-foot by 5-foot phone.
Yeah, it's like, dude, come on. Okay, hang on.
You got it right?
We got to play this now. Okay, let me get the right audio.
Oh, boy.
Because that's key.
Fucking iPhones.
Okay, here we go. We got there. And go. Is it coming across? Wait, I can't hear now because you're freaking...
No, it's not coming across.
I got it on.
There we go.
What you need.
Okay, here we go.
Start over.
Gentlemen, Donnie, Salt Lake City, Utah. Can you guys do an out-of-towner Rubicon what you need trip? Like, I want to know, I have a Jeep on 40s, son has a Gladiator on 40s.
Nice.
Yeah.
What trips can you take the trailer to, or your campers, and what trips of the big trips they do in the Rubicon, what trips do they do where you pack in, tent in? I kind of get it. I can tell when you guys bring your campers and stuff. But
Lance life.
which ones are the big ones that you actually take a tent in, and how many days? And do you guys care? Well, Chris doesn't. Chris doesn't go.
That's harsh.
Shade.
That's pretty harsh.
Stuff like that.
Shade.
Just
Snap.
kind of like a Rubicon for the out-of-towners. So I've asked those snail trail guys, but they're too busy building fucking Frankenstein axles. And Chris, there is in and outs in Utah.
Oh.
So not that you didn't know, obviously, because you've never been to Moab or anywhere.
I've been to Utah.
But they have them in Utah now. So
just not to Moab.
Carry on. Love you guys' show.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Okay, very cool. I love it. Wow. That is timely because I was going to talk about the Rubicon on this trip. So I will help you out here, Donnie, and make this happen. So this is good. This is a good lead in.
You wanted to lead right into it?
Yeah, let's do it. So I just got back from the Rubicon.
And Barrett.
I went out with the Mad Hatters. And so I called up. So here was the deal. So Barrett Lake. Let's start with Barrett Lake. And
yes,
so
sir.
there's a couple trips a year that the Lance life doesn't happen,
right?
Where you're camping out on the trail, which is super cool, and it makes me appreciate the Lance life even more. But with the Gazelle tent and rock landing, it works out great. So fortunately, Trail Hero made that happen, and I said, man, Barrett Lake, I didn't get to do last year because of the fires.
Fires, right.
And that trail's only open for,
couple months.
it could be 3 weeks, it could be 3 months out of the summer. It just depends on weather and what all's going on in crazy California. Mm-hmm. And it's a great trail. It's 6 miles in, 6 miles out to one of the most beautiful, spectacular lakes you will ever witness, in person.
Pretty freaking awesome.
It's framed in 3/4 of the way around with granite walls.
Yep.
That light up at sunset. That's just fucking phenomenal.
And if the lake is glass,
and then the lake is almost always glass,
and it's the reflection,
and the reflection
mirror,
is, and it's just you can't help to be just taken up in the moment and just going, you just stand out there and stare into the water and stare up at the granite walls and just go, this is pretty freaking cool part of the earth right here.
Either wheeling or hiking.
Whatever. Yeah, you're bordering desolation wilderness.
Exactly. And what does wilderness mean?
What does wilderness mean?
No motorized travel.
But it's like nothing. You're not supposed to be able. Anybody's supposed to go on, but they do have hiking trails, and you're supposed to have
hiking's allowed in desolation wilderness.
Supposed to have a permit.
Correct.
Right. Here's my permit.
And don't do it in the duff.
Okay. So, anyways, I said, hey, I want to go do Barrett this year, got to make this happen. And so I said, if it's still open after Trail Hero, I want to make it happen. So it was still open after our big old fires that happened up there. And we had some rains. We had like a significant rain event. I mean, like over 2 inches of rain.
In September,
which helped the fires immensely. Mm-hmm. And usually when that trail gets inundated with any kind of moisture, it shuts down. But things have been so dry up in our Sierras that water in the ground so hydrophobic, which means you could pour. It's like pouring water on concrete. It just runs right off. And we witnessed that on the Rubicon here in the moisture that we got there, I'll get into in a minute. But so Barrett was open, and so I'm calling around and go, hey, you want to go on Barrett? No, I got this, I got that, and I call up Husmann, old hustle nuts.
Yeah.
And I go, hey, you're going on Rubicon. I'm going on Rubicon. Let's extend it a day and go to Barrett.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's a damn good idea. And I go, yeah, you better bet your freaking britches it's a damn good idea. So we made it happen. We headed out on a Thursday and met up and hit the trail afternoon and went in. We saw a couple hikers and a hunter.
That's it.
Yeah, it had like a big old 30-06, or maybe it was a 307 or something.
Oh, it's deer season.
It is. It's hunting season. It's wabbit season. No, it's duck season. It's deer season. So he was up there. So we chatted with him a little bit on the trail, which was cool. But we headed in 6 miles into camp, set up camp, and just took in the scenery. And spent the night out there. It was T-shirt and shorts weather going in. Got a little chilly at night. It's the Sierras, so, there could be a 50, 60-degree temperature change during the day. And so, it did drop down at night, probably into the mid to high 30s, I would say. Mm-hmm. But totally comfortable in the Gazelle tent and 0-degree bag that I have.
Right.
And so I'm like, okay, cool. And a little whiskey, that doesn't hurt. A little antifreeze before you go to bed.
Is that what we're calling it?
Right, now? Yeah. And so we went to bed and then woke up the next morning and fixed breakfast and coffee and watched the sun come up over the lake and, immediately started warming up. And we headed out about 8:30 in the morning.
Uh-huh.
God, the ham radio works great up there. Hit the 805 repeater that covers the Rubicon in that area, mm-hmm. and was able to connect with John and Renee from the Mad Hatters and get an update from them that they were just leaving Ice House Resort, headed up to Loon Lake and start on the Rubicon Trail.
Loon Lake's the trailhead, yeah.
Yeah, for one of the trailheads for Rubicon. And so we said, yeah, we're just leaving camp here at 8:30, and we'll see you guys later this afternoon.
Yeah.
And so we headed out. Took a little over 2 hours to go that 6 miles, taking our time. Didn't see anybody on the trail.
That's Friday morning.
So good. Yeah, Friday morning. So about 8:30 left camp. 10:45, just before 11 o'clock, we finished the trail after a few stops and BSing and stuff, and got back to our trucks and trailers and go, okay, load up, and we headed over to Loon Lake, which was about an hour drive on roads over to Loon Lake to stage for the Rubicon.
You didn't go down to 50. You took the other one.
No. There's all kinds of little forest road that cuts over to Ice House Road.
So for the caller, his question was, so Barrett Lake you definitely need a tent on Barrett Lake, but if you have a truck and trailer and camper, that can be left safely for the most part at the trailhead.
Yeah, and it's you hear some stories, and I guess some people have been stealing gas lately because gas freaking prices are through the roof. Mm-hmm. We didn't have any issues, but it's always a concern. You leave a nice truck and trailer set up out there in the middle of the forest, and you don't know what you're going to come back to. But
was that campground still open up there?
Nope. Everything was locked down for the winter, and
Okay.
that's why I like this time of the year. It's that shoulder season they call it up in Tahoe, and it's summer's done. All the summer activities are done. The winter activities haven't started yet, so they call it the shoulder season.
Exactly,
and that's my favorite time of year because there's hardly anybody around. It's like locals' paradise, right? You can just go up there and hang out, and you don't have to worry about all these tourists. And
tourist. Well, you're a tourist. You don't live there.
I'm a semi-local, semi-tourist. I'm up there so much,
right?
So, anyway, so there's plenty of places to park and offload your vehicle. I mean, Hustle Nuts is in a buggy that's non-street legal, and so we're able to park close enough that you could unload, and you can do it in the summertime too, and go up to the trailhead. Mm-hmm. And you're hauling all your gear in, and to tent camp. Cooking supplies and all your food, and your shelter, your tent, your sleeping bag. I started using a cot almost 2 years ago now, which I think is one of the greatest things ever. I don't know why it's taken this long to get a cot, but way more comfortable than an air mattress that goes down in the middle of the night. So
on that.
Yeah, and so anyways, that was Barrett, and then head over to Loon Lake, and so Rubicon has a lot more parking options. Mm-hmm. And now Barrett kind of does too, because unfortunately that fire came right up to
cleared the forest.
It did clear the forest, and they did a lot of wood chipping. And there is a ton of areas just off of Wrights Lake Road that you head up off of Highway 50 to park a truck and trailer very comfortably. And it's it's legal. They have areas signed off that you can't go beyond a certain point, and as long as you stay between the road and that point, you're fine. Mm-hmm. So Rubicon, I like to park up at Loon Lake.
Right.
That's like the main entrance with the big sign that says, Rubicon Trail, although this time of the year it's down for the winter. And of course, there's Wentworth and Airport Flats and all that stuff too, other entrances into the
Gurley Creek there.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. But lots of places to park a truck and trailer going into the trail. And so I park up there at the dirt lot across from what they call the chalet at Loon Lake.
Yep.
So there's a campground there as well, which people have rented, paid for campsites and park their truck and trailer in there and spend a night and go into the trail for a couple nights and then come back out and back around and camp maybe another night. So if you're from out of town, that's a very good option.
Absolutely.
To camp in the campground, and it's secure. There's a campground host there and everything. But I, knock on wood, haven't had any problems camping in the dirt lot across from the chalet. Just be smart about where you park. There is a helicopter landing pad there, and give them room to access the pad. You can always go down to the dam itself, and right at the beginning of the trail there at Loon Lake. Mm-hmm. There's plenty of parking down there for trucks and trailers as well.
That gets pretty crowded in the summer.
It can get crowded in the summer, and it's kind of a steep, loose, rocky hill going down there.
You want to make sure your tow rig has 4-wheel drive.
Yeah, and not a Dodge. Ford's no problem. Getting in and out of there, 2-wheel drive Ford, no problem. But 4-wheel drive Dodge down there, I don't know if you could get
Fords
out of there.
Down on the side of the road.
Yeah,
never see a Dodge. I'm just saying.
Okay, well you're blinded by the light, I guess. But anyways, so plenty of parking up in there. And then you hit the, if it's summertime, you can hit the kiosk, if you will, and they hand out the spill kits. They got information on the trail and everything if you're a first timer to the Rubicon.
Right.
So that's a great little launching point. Of course, if you're launching out of Georgetown, Jeepers Jamboree office is right there, and there's that as well. But yeah, then you head out on the trail, and it's go time. You're right out on the slabs. Then you hit Gatekeeper. Then you hit Snail Hill. Now that they took claim of that little section right before the Rock Bowl,
right?
And then you go into the massive bowl, which is absolutely spectacular. I mean, every time, and I've been on the trail for over 30 years now, and it really is one of those aha moments when you pull up to it and just go, holy crap, Batman. Drop into the bowl, come out of the bowl, whale bones, so on and so forth. You go through the trail, and there's plenty of camping along the trail.
And restrooms.
So many restrooms now. The Rubicon Trail Foundation has done an incredible job of creating a very clean, usable, well-accessible trail, and hats off to them. Yes, and what they've done to eliminate the white flowers and all that stuff, and have some very nice. I mean, you're camping, so they're pit toilets, but nice facilities along the trail.
Correct.
They
had no. I mean, they had to do that, or it was going to get shut down. So.
Yeah, exactly. It's under so much scrutiny. Designated campsites with designated fire rings if fires are allowed.
Correct.
And you need a fire permit.
Correct.
You need a fire permit to operate your propane stove, your barbecue, your propane barbecue or charcoal barbecue. You need a permit for that. So you need to get familiar, with the time of the year and what the Forest Service is allowing that time of the year for the trail. So just be aware of that as well.
And you can look at, was it El Dorado National Forest?
El Dorado National Forest, Tahoe National Forest, yes.
And they have all that information there available. Also, you can find it on the Rubicon Trail Foundation's website.
That's the best one.
Friends of the Rubicon.
Yep. I would definitely look at those and get the latest. And then, of course, you could always hit up us on the IG,
absolutely,
or give us a call or email, whatever, and be happy to point you in the right direction to the information if we don't have the current information. But
one of the most important things is there's no support, there's no services out there, so you're on your own. Pack it in, pack it out.
Yeah, and the ham radio is key. That 805 repeater works so well. I mean, it is crazy. I don't promote. I don't like wheeling by myself, but I was going to do Barrett by myself if nobody was going to make it. I'm happy that Jason made it, Husmann, and we had a great time. But I was okay with going out by myself because the communication's so good with the 805. If something did go awry. But anyways, so get a ham radio. Highly recommend that.
And get licensed.
Have your license. You can't just get a ham radio and go, okay, 805, here we go. Legally, you need a license, which is easy to obtain, and that's a whole nother conversation there. But make that happen. It's so much better than CBs or FRSs now.
And there's no cellular service except for one spot on the Rubicon.
Yeah. There's the cell phone tree, and it works. Verizon works there, AT&T. And that's about it on the trail. The rest of the trail is dark. So, you get out there and camp and, respect, haul it in, haul it out, use the facilities. It's great. And then, to address, the phone call there, it's, take a couple days if you're from, out of the area.
Oh yeah.
'Cause it is beautiful. It is one of the most beautiful trails I've been on, and to take in that scenery and not be in a hurry, and a little bonus. We just did that Rubicon
The RTF loop.
The RTF, the Rubicon Trail Foundation loop. And it takes a couple hours. And it's right before Buck Island, coming in from Loon Lake or Wentworth there. And it is definitely worth it. I mean, if I was an out-of-towner and never been on the Rubicon Trail, and I want to, I got a few days to take it all in, I would ideally start at Loon or Wentworth, whatever works for your itinerary. Actually, I would start at our favorite bar, Chris, that I introduced you to.
Yeah, Uncle, I'm sorry.
Uncle Ed's?
Uncle Tom's.
Uncle Tom's Cabin. There you go. Go to Uncle Tom's Cabin and have a brewski there and just sit down at the bar.
Yeah.
It's one of the coldest beers you'll ever have out of a propane-fired refrigerator. Off the grid. Just a really, really cool historic spot. And it's iconic to the Rubicon.
Leave a note on the roof,
and
on the ceiling.
Yeah, you can write on a $1 bill and staple it to the ceiling or wall.
Yep.
That is great. Start out there, get going, go do the trail, and then the first night getting to Buck Island is a good halfway point.
Yeah.
And then set up camp there, and then the next morning head out and backtrack a little bit. Not even a mile. I don't think it's a mile to backtrack to the Rubicon Trail Foundation property. And it's open to the public. You don't have to have a special permit or anything. And it's very well signed on the trail at the 4.5 mile mark. And you go into the Rubicon Trail Foundation property, and it's tough. It's not for the faint of heart. It's
or short wheelbase.
I did it in my CJ5, and I had the front end wheels off the ground, not once, not twice, not three, but like 5 times. The off camber and granite slab inclines that you go up and down are pretty severe. So, you got a 4-door, JK, JL, whatever, you're going to be fine. A Toyota pickup, anything with a little bit of wheelbase, you're going to be totally fine. But you short wheelbase, Samurais, CJ5s, buckle up, Buttercups. You better have some wheeling skills and not be afraid to get after it a little bit.
Mission control.
Yeah. Even in the Wrangler there, Chris, there would be some spots where you'd be a little pucker factor going on.
Sure.
But you get in there, and it's a beautiful property. There's a waterfall down in there that you can go hang out and have lunch and then do the loop. Very, very well marked. Winch points at all the critical areas. Go in there and have some fun. And then come back out, go back to Buck Island. Maybe,
camp another night.
Maybe camp another night. I mean, it doesn't suck to camp another night at Buck Island. Beautiful area. But if not, do that early in the morning. Come back to Buck Island, have lunch, maybe a later lunch, and pack everything up, and then head to Rubicon Springs.
Right.
And you definitely got to spend at least one night at Rubicon Springs. It'll cost you, I think it's $10 a night now, or $15, maybe it's $20 a night. I can't remember. Whatever it is, nominal fee. The caretakers are there, super cool. You can make reservations. Yeah, bring cash. The credit card machine doesn't work out there. But Rubicon Springs, super iconic. It's at the end of the trail. I mean, you come out of Rubicon Springs and you climb up Cadillac and get to Observation Point, and then you're done. Unfortunately, you got a little heck of a road to get out, bumpy, just annoying road to get back to Tahoe. But anyway, spend a night at Rubicon Springs, and if you can, take 3 days,
right,
to go through the trail. If you're on a little bit of a time crunch, or you can squeeze in Barrett if Barrett's open. Spend a day and go do Barrett, and then come back over to Rubicon. So, anyways, kind of tie it into our trip there. We headed in from Barrett and went to Spider Lake. We were able to legally camp at Spider Lake on private property. This is the one time of the year we get the invite on Mr. Arn's property. at Spider Lake, and it's I mean, we used to be able to camp there before. Things have changed over the years, but it's a beautiful spot, and it's nice to set up camp there and empty out the rigs so you don't have all the weight in them of camping gear and food and stuff. And we went out and did windy Friday night.
That's what I heard.
I thought our gazelles were going to blow away. There was probably like 8 gazelles in camp.
Saw they look like mushrooms.
Yeah. and
were there any other? Were they only gazelle tents, or were there others?
No, there was a couple other
styles
tents. There was a Coleman, and Husmann's got that little. He says it's a 2-man tent, but it's basically a half-man tent. I don't know how he fits in there. It's really small, a little bit bigger than his sleeping bag. But yeah, and then it blew so hard that Sarah and Ryan's had their gazelle brand new to them, and it blew one of the sides in. It collapsed one of the sides.
Oh, really?
And that takes some serious force.
Yeah.
So just to give you an idea of how much wind we had, so nobody slept Friday night. Woke up Saturday morning. It was cold, overcast, threatening to rain. Weather, a front was definitely in, and we were able to have a fire because we were on private property, and got the fire going and had breakfast. And I go, okay, we got to get out on trail here. I want to go do this RTF property. So we went out on the RTF property. So Tyler from Snail Trail, we had Morgan from the Mad Hatters and Walt riding with him. Morgan tried to kill Walt. At least once, if not twice. But it's crazy off camber. He's got a TJ, 2-door TJ. So shorter wheelbase. Yeah. And I mean, this stuff we were doing, it was like, wow. And then Dave for the Mad Hatters, he's got a 2-door as well. And he did really well. Then we had Colin and Thad from, or Jeb, I should say, Jed from Polyformance. And they caught up with us. We saw them on the way in, and we hooked up, Husmann and I hooked up with them at Soup Bowl. Husmann was playing around at Soup Bowl, Soup Kitchen, all that. And so we had a good time Friday afternoon there. We roll into camp when, T-shirt and shorts, and people were in their jackets. I mean, it was starting to get cold, and then that front moved in, and then Saturday was like just a cold day.
Mm-hmm.
But and then of course Husmann and his buggy and myself running that loop. We get done with the loop, and then we're unfortunately Morgan broke a rear sway bar link. Okay. So unbolted that, no big deal. And then we're almost out of the loop, and Tyler goes, I got no steering. And Husmann and I are out of the loop, getting ready to head back to the trail. But the trail from the loop, where the loop actually does the full loop back on itself, there's the cabin there. Nice little cabin area and fire pit and stuff. But for that trail from there back to the Rubicon Trail is no joke. I mean, you got to climb back out of the canyon on granite slabs that are off camber and steep and stuff like that.
Okay.
So we're kind of staged there. It's Glenn. Glenn White is the individual that stays at the cabin there on the weekends and hands out the rollover spill kits and stuff like that, right, and everything. Yeah. So, if you follow Glenn White on Facebook and stuff, he's like, yeah, rough day commute here, Monday commute going out of the trail. Son of a gun. But anyways, so Husmann and I look at each other and go, man, there is very few easy fixes to when you have no steering.
Right.
So we're like, what the heck? Well, the universal joint connecting from the steering shaft, from the steering wheel to the box, the steering box, came off.
Left the chat.
Came off the, knurled fittings there, splined. And it's like, how does that come off? Because there should be like a through bolt through there.
And that's not a flexing thing. I mean,
no,
it just goes from the steering wheel down to the steering power.
He had some aftermarket where you like thread in a, Allen, and it had a nut on it from each side, and then the nut like locks it in. Well, somehow that backed off, and it came off. It left the chat, and I'm like, dude. Thank God this didn't happen on the freeway.
Right?
It's one thing on the trail when you're going freaking 2 miles an hour, if that.
How many transfer cases did he have engaged?
Oh, I don't know.
All of them?
5, 6, 7, maybe 8 torques? I don't know. So anyways, so that was that mechanical. Took, 15, 20 minutes to hook that back up. No big deal.
You can't handle the torques.
Exactly. And so they were coming out of... I didn't hear that. Even with Colin and his his Toyota there, they were just crawling through. But there's a trash can on the way in, way out to Glenn's cabin there, and they call it Trash Can Hill. And apparently Jimmy from Snail Trail 4x4 was part of that operation of this trash can that's there. It's a super steep drop off and then climb out, and they had to put concrete there to keep from the erosion off the slab. And so they needed this trash can to fill it up with water to bring it in for the concrete. And so, Jimmy's tied to that story somehow. And I know they talked about it on the Snail Trail podcast, but I'm like, what the hell's up with this trash can? And then Tyler was laughing. He goes, oh, yeah, you got to ask Jimmy about that. So, exactly. The more you know. So ask Jimmy from Snail Trail 4x4 what's up on the RTF property about Trash Can Hill.
Look it up.
Yeah. Good story there. Anyways, so we headed out and, we had to do a little winching. A couple of vehicles had to be winched. I am surprised I got out of there without winching because there was a couple times I probably should have winched and I didn't. But I was still numb from Trail Hero of off camber and crazy inclinations
and stickies.
And stickies. The BFG stickies work so good. But I am putting water in the Jeep, at least up to the hubs. Just it needs a little water up front to
even with that engine in the front.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that 383 stroker works so freaking good. But anyways, we got out of that trail, headed back up Indian Trail, which is all off camber slabs, up, down, and had some fun there. I stayed on the original trail. They took some bypass off to the left, which I came down, which was very good.
Is Indian Trail a bypass on its own?
Well, it's the bypass to the old sluice.
Correct. So there's a bypass to the bypass?
There's a bypass to the bypass, it's slabs and there's all kinds of different lines to take.
Sure.
And I stayed on the original trail and that it worked out okay, but it was touch and go a few times. And then it started snowing on us. And I'm like, we got to get back to camp. So get in there and got back to camp, and the light snow turned to heavy snow, turned into 2 inches of snow.
Hey, it's not a party till it snows.
Oh, yeah, and it was, it was cold all day. The wind had died down, luckily, but it was just a cold day, which was fine. I love being up in the Sierras in the cold, and especially if it's snowing. Right equipment. Exactly. And got into camp. And they had the fire going, so got warmed up there, and then started dinner, and was eating frickin' dinner in full-blown snowstorm. Well, there was still some light. No easy ups. There was no way. But the Gazelle tins hold up well. It was amazing how quick it accumulated and how they hold up to the snow.
Well, once the snow's on, they insulate up pretty quick.
Yeah, so. And it was. It was a wet, heavy snow, typical California snow. Seriously? So there was a lot of weight there. And then one of the kids in camp, Sarah and Ryan's kid, Robert was making a snowman. That's how much snow was falling. He was making a freaking snowman, Chris. It was cool.
Do you want to make a snowman?
Oh, yeah, there you go. You must have a daughter.
Yeah, I do.
So anyways, so wolfed down dinner real quick before it chilled off. And then we stood around the fire and watched it snow and sipped some bourbon.
Drank bourbon.
There was some good stuff. So Morgan brought a 15-year-old George Dickel.
Oh, shit. that bottle was killed?
No. There was still some left at the end of Saturday night.
Wow.
Walt brought a 5.9 whiskey.
Uh-huh.
I think it was called 5.9. It was really good. Might have been 9.5. I think it's 5.9.
How much Fireball was there?
There was 0 Fireball. Who knows what Tyler was drinking, but I didn't see a bottle of Fireball because I would have. I had some Old Elk, and it was the 5-year-old single barrel. That was delicioso. I may have had some pre-made old fashions with some proof, orange.
Oh, well, I wouldn't be surprised.
It was Jefferson's and proof orange that was pre-mixed in the canteen, and I may have had some. I don't know, Cab Franc from DeRose that was in there in 2014 Cab Franc. So I had 3 canteens with me, and so. I had 1 glass of wine at Barrett Lake that night and a little whiskey. And then at Rubicon, when we got in Friday night, had some more wine and a little whiskey. And then, Saturday night, we hit the whiskey pretty hard and finished off the old fashioned. So really good. So go to bed, freezing. It was cold. With snow. The storm passed through, crystal clear night. Stars were unbelievable. The reflection off the lake of the stars and the white, there was still a good moon out, the reflection. It was beautiful. Go to bed, wake up the next morning early. I'm one of the first ones up, and everything's, semi-white. Nothing melted.
Oh, it's too cold.
It was 22 degrees.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, water freezes at 32, by the way.
I know.
So it was 10 degrees under freezing. And so worked my way over to the, they have nice outhouses there on the, even nicer than the Rubicon Trail on the private property. And so worked my way over there and awfully cold. No heater in the,
I bet.
In the outhouse.
No heated toilet seat? Oh, boy.
No heated floor like in your house and your bathroom and stuff. So
my house heaters have heaters.
Oh, I know. So anyways, it was great. And then, people start waking up and get the fire going again and get some coffee going and breakfast. And, I said, hey, we talked about it the night before. Let's head out at like 10 o'clock when things, sun comes up. It's going to be clear and cold. But sun comes up, it'll start melting the snow, start clearing the trail.
Right.
But it was amazing. I mean, being a horticulturist and we talk about hydrophobic soil, and it was a perfect example of hydrophobic soil. The snow was melting and just water was just beating off the dirt.
That's crazy.
Not even absorbing in. I mean, you could sit there and kick it and work it into the soil and it just wouldn't mix in. And it's just like tough as nails, But anyways, we start heading out and I think we had 11 rigs and, we got the conga line going on out and I'm like, okay. And then they said, hey, there's another CJ5 guy down here, Jason. And so the guy comes running up to my Jeep and, hey, man, nice 5, and just got mine. And I'm like, right on. And one of them had, in their XJ had broken a tie rod end. And they needed, I think, a left-handed tie rod end. And he had a right, but he didn't have a left. And none of us had a left. Just for the sake of argument, I think it was left. And he ended up threading in his right into a left-handed thread just to get him off the trail. So he cross-threaded it. You got to do what you got to do, right? And we're like, hey, we got welders and stuff. And they go, no, I think we're good. Well, okay, so save that in your memory banks. Meet up with them. They're super cool, fun. They spent the night in the snow as well. Right at the base of Little Sluice. And so we're heading out, continue out, and make it out pretty effortlessly. We come across a couple other vehicles. They pull the side. We got some vehicles coming in. We work it out. People go by us. We go by them. Boom, we get out to the Granite Bowl.
Okay.
And Renee says, hey, let's get a group photo with all the rigs at the Granite Bowl. And I'm like, great. So we all line up, and then Morgan goes, hey, Johnny, I think I need a little welding. My driver's side rear upper bracket on the link mount there on the axle is damn near left the chat. It's like barely hanging on.
And this is a Jeep?
It's a Jeep, the TJ, two-door TJ, and he ran the RTF loop, and it was gnarly, dude. He broke the link, the sway bar link, the day before Saturday, and here we are Sunday morning headed out, and I mean it puts your vehicle through the ringer, flexing out and everything. So unfortunately, okay, fine, we all stay there and help out and do what we do. Hey, do you have this? Whatever. And people are chipping in, and the rest of us are just kind of, standing around having a beverage.
The Premier's getting a workout.
Premier Welder comes out. Thank you, Greg, from Premier Welder. Johnny fires up his Premier Welder. They get the wheel off. They get accessibility. They get it bent back into place, and Johnny starts welding on it and some strap material. We got some spare metal material between the rigs. Cutoff grinder, put it in there. Oh, so this was kind of funny. So, hey, we need a cordless cutoff grinder because Johnny's got the electric one that hooks up to the 110, but, cordless is real nice. And who's got it? Oh, I got one. So Tyler brings his over first. Brand new. Still got the shield on it.
Oh, no.
And we're all giving him shit, right? OSHA need not apply, but, it's like, well, you still got the shield on your... on your angle grinder. How are you going to run a 7-inch disc on that 4-inch angle grinder when you got the safety guard on it? Anyways, safety third. But it was there, and so John used it to cut some strap material to weld on and reinforce the bracket, which worked out great. I mean, you got a freaking certified welder welding on your rig on the middle of the Rubicon Trail. You can't be beat. So,
did he tow his rig, or did he have to drive it home?
No, he had to drive it home, and he drove it home 6. Oh, it was way stronger than when he drove it up there.
I'm sure. But still, it's a little bit nerve-wracking.
It is, but it's a link bracket. It's not like crazy. It's not like steering coming undone like Tyler's, but whatever. So
or
we're
brakes
there,
or whatever.
We're there for almost 2 hours, I would say. And here comes the group with the CJ that we saw earlier in the morning. Mm-hmm. And I see this other rig there. It was a nice maroon 4Runner, and it had a Mudsucker sticker on the back. And then I see a guy with a Mudsucker sweatshirt. And I go, wait a minute, this is my good buddies, Tom's Club, Mudsuckers.
Right.
And Dave and Brian and, everybody, Jesse. I mean,
Well, they all have side-by-sides.
Well, now they're a side-by-side club. But apparently they got some 4-wheelers in that club that go through the Rubicon still. Good. So I go, hey, Mudsuckers, I look over, and the guy didn't recognize me, but I recognized him. He's at Les Schwab and there in Sacramento, and I go, hey, Mudsuckers, and he's like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, hey, Tommy's friend here, Jason, and he goes, oh, okay, yeah, the damn bastard took his body off his Bronco, and he's not out here with us. Yeah, so he's doing a little winter renovation.
Sure.
But anyway, so I didn't know the guy with the CJ5 had just gotten it and was one of the new members of Mudsuckers.
Okay.
So, and he needed power steering fluid at that point. His power steering was pissing out fluid.
Boiling?
Yeah, basically. So Tyler actually gave him a quart of power steering fluid. Okay, cool. And then the other guy with the tie rod end that was crossfire was still doing good. He was super cool, Brian. And so they continue on, they stop and bullshit with us for a little bit and then continue on. And then we look off in the distance and there's Rivians out in the bowl.
Oh,
We're like, okay, well, this is interesting. And they're playing around and stuff, and you could see drones in the air. And
so they came through Gatekeeper?
They came through Gatekeeper and were in the bowl.
Wow.
But they were headed out. We were headed out. A lot of people were headed out. There was fair amount of people on the trail
Sunday
for the weekend.
At that point.
It was Sunday afternoon at that point.
Right.
So, okay, Morgan gets fixed. So just before they were bolting on the wheel and putting away tools, Husmann and I look at each other, and there was a few of us that were getting antsy and go, hey, we're going to head out because we got to go hook up to trailers and stuff, and we'll meet you down at Ice House Resort for, bacon burger and beer.
Right.
Perfect. So we start heading out. There was like 5 of us, and boom, Husmann's leading, and we just stop right before Gatekeeper, right in the rocky section out of the bowl. Like, what the hell? And Rivians all hung up on the trail. And so I get out of the Jeep and I walk up there, and not 1, not 2, not 3, but probably 15 traction boards, Max Trax, orange boards are out on trail, Chris.
Jesus.
I'm not exaggerating.
Were these any of the people that were
not
wheeled during the Adopt a Trail?
Nope.
Completely different group.
Nope.
Huh?
Completely different group. But it was people from Rivian.
Oh, again, more engineers. And
so I go up there, Jason goes up there, Tyler goes up there, and we're just watching, observing, right? And I look over at one of the Rivians, and there is smoke emanating from the bed of the Rivian. Smoke.
Oh, that's
and I'm like,
good.
That's not good.
No.
I'm like starting to freak out. Like, I'm going to run back and grab the element, right?
Sure.
And nobody's panicking. I mean, there's people right next to the rig, and nobody's panicking. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Because clearly there's a significant amount of smoke coming out of the bed of this Rivian, but nobody's panicking.
Or fire.
And where there's fire, right? And so I'm like, hey, what? And then I could smell the smoke, and it smelled like, wood chips. And I'm like, it's a wood fire. It's not an electrical fire from the electrical Rivian. What's going on over here? Oh, that's our smoker. So they had a smoker in the bed of the pickup running off the 110 outlet in the Rivian pickup.
While they're wheeling?
While they're wheeling, which was pretty fucking cool. That's taking overlanding to No, I'm not. It's taking overlanding to a whole nother level here.
Jesus.
So I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool.
I don't know about smart, but kind of
cool. Yeah, but whatever. That's pretty cool. So I go, really? And they go, yeah, we're smoking up dinner. And I'm like, okay, all right. I'm kind of like where this is going. And so it was set up. It was had a lift on the Rivian. It was a pickup, and it had 37s on it, I think.
Really?
At least 35s. I think somebody said 37. Don't quote me on that. But it had a significant, it wasn't stock. Okay? It just wasn't stock. And it was pulled off to the side, so I didn't see it around. Well, there was a stock Rivian behind it that was having all kinds of problems. And traction boards were out and stacked, and it was entertaining to watch. And these engineers and people from Rivian were, putting it through its paces and trying to learn from, rock crawling a Rivian on the Rubicon at Gatekeeper, which, days of old, Gatekeeper was a gatekeeper. It was if you didn't make it through Gatekeeper, you had no business being on the trail. But now it's like, it's rocky and stuff, but it's nothing compared to what it used to be.
Sure.
So it's not really a true Gatekeeper anymore. So they're in there in the rocks, and we're just, Tyler, Jason, and I, and Ryan was there, and we're just like laughing, just going, oh my God, this is painful to watch. Plastic is breaking off, the fairing, inner fender well coming out, plastic fender wall. And all the time there's this Max Trax, they're trying to get traction on in the rocks. And I'm just like, okay, we joke around about Max Trax and overlanding, and they do have their place in sand, snow, and mud.
Right.
But definitely not on the fucking rocks. No. And they're bending and stuff. I mean, it was just like, okay. So it just screamed, inexperienced to us. Right.
Well, and it's Sunday afternoon.
It's Sunday afternoon. We're tired. We want to get back on the trail. We want to go have a nice warm bacon cheeseburger and cold beer at Ice House Resort.
Right.
So the entertainment quickly turned into what the F's going on. And then Jason finally asked them, are you purposely picking the hard lines? And they're like, yeah, we're trying to, test our vehicles. And he goes, hey, that's cool. But you got 30 rigs behind you that is trying to get off the trail right now. And you guys are a trail plug, trail tampon. And you need to move over to the side. And they're like, okay, cool. Yeah, we'll get over to the side. And they were fine with that, and understandable. And it's true. You're going to do this stuff, do it on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday when there's hardly anybody on the trail, but not on a Sunday afternoon right at the beginning / end of the trail.
Exactly.
So there was some choice words said by some other people in our party. I will rename nameless. Wasn't me, wasn't Husmann, wasn't Tyler, wasn't Ryan. But anyways, that reiterated what we were saying is like, hey, can you just pull over to let us by, and then you can spend all the time you want once you let all these people in. Because it wasn't just our group, it was other groups that were stacking up trying to get out. Mm-hmm. And they did pull over, and they were nice, and, I was cordial to them, like, hey, thanks, have a nice rest of your day, enjoy your smoked meat, whatever you're smoking there, and party on, Wayne.
Tofu.
Yeah. But the people at the end of our group were not as gracious and whatever. And it was highly entertaining. But I did bring up, Shelby and the people that were part of our group for the Adopted Trail. And I said, we had 3 Rivian trucks up there. They had 2 Rivian trucks and an SUV, which is a nice looking rig, by the way. And they are very capable. But in the rocks, they got some work to do.
Well,
got some work to do.
You got to break some eggs to advance. That sounds like they're not afraid to go in there.
The Rubicon has been like that. I mean, look at what Jeep's done. I mean, they come out with the Rubicon edition. Apparently, Toyota came out with a Rubicon edition too with Tyler. But it's it is. I mean, it's great to see.
He's just a wannabe.
And then Ford, with the Bronco, did Rubicon testing. I mean, it's just great to see manufacturers being out there and hey, let's try one of the tougher trails in the
real
world to see what our vehicle does there, and let's learn from this. And that's exactly what they were doing. That's fine. But on a Sunday afternoon when we're all trying to get out of the trail and get back home, and some of us had 6, 7, 8 hour drives, it's like, be considerate too. I understand it's a public trail, but if you're broken, it's one thing. We're going to help you get fixed and get you off the trail, but when you're out there purposely taking hard lines just for video and drones in the air and traction boards on the ground,
leave it to Husmann to cut to the chase.
He did it very well, and I backed him up, and I said the same thing to a few people, and But anyways, so we got out of the trail, got loaded up, headed down to Ice House Road. Husmann and he headed Georgetown way and went out. That was quicker for him just to get home. He had the pets to get back to. But most of us met up at Ice House, and I ended up getting, so the bacon cheeseburgers are great at Ice House Resort. Mm-hmm. And here's another little fun fact, pro tip. So the gentleman that called in there, Johnny, on the phone call earlier in this podcast, Ice House Resort is a great, safe place to park your tow rig.
Absolutely.
Truck and trailer. You pay a nominal fee. It's like $5 or $10 a night. It's nothing, and it's totally secure. The people live there. Justine and her mom, are there at the bar and the restaurant. And best bacon cheeseburger you'll have up there in the Sierras. And so I order a bacon cheeseburger at the bar. We're in there talking and having a good time, and then gentleman next to me gets a chicken fried steak burger, and I'm like, whoa, Justine, I didn't know about this. And she goes, oh no, it's on our menu. Well, I've never seen a menu in the 20 plus years I've been going to Ice House Resort. I always order a bacon cheeseburger,
right?
And fries, and their fries are good. They're like steak fries, but they're crispy. They're so freaking good. I mean, it's good, wholesome food. And I go, whoa, I want one of those. I just ordered this, bacon cheeseburger. And then Tyler came in and sat down, and I go, hey, what are you ordering? He goes, oh, bacon cheeseburger. And I go, perfect. And Justine goes, hey, this will work out good because I just accidentally ordered a second chicken fried steak burger. Uh-huh. And you can have that, and then Tyler could have your, bacon cheeseburger. I go, perfect. So it all worked out.
Right on.
I got my chicken fried steak burger. He got his bacon cheeseburger.
Chicken fried steak burger.
And it was freaking good.
Holy shit, that's
so good.
That's a gut bomb right there.
So good. There was no gravy on it or anything, but it was so good.
Cheese?
Oh, there was Ches and bacon.
Oh boy. It's like the best of everything.
It really was. It was so good. So we were all fat and happy and left there and headed down the hill, and everybody went on to their way. But, so we call this the Rocktoberfest run. Diane Hawks sets us up with this. She's a member of the Highlanders that also maintains the Barrett Lake Trail. Exactly. And I told her, I extended, we do a lot of logging. It's pretty amazing what we do on our adopted trails up there off of Highway 4, the amount of lumber that we move to clear trails and the size of the trees. And I told her, because Barrett Lake Camp has been inundated with these down trees for years.
Yeah, I remember the year I was there. It was huge.
Yeah,
trees
and so there's
around.
a few more down since then, and they have cut some up, but I told Diane, I said, I'd be more than happy to go in there, if we can get in there in the next couple weeks. I could get a crew in there of 4 or 5 people, and we could do some serious logging. If not, next spring, please keep me in mind, and I would love to get in there and move some of the little trees that are down in there and open up that camp, because it's crazy the wind shear that came through that camp and knocked down some major lumber in there.
Well, it's a tight campground. I mean,
it is. It's not a very big campground to begin with.
Right past the mediocre poop toilet.
Yeah, and they need another one because it was full.
Oh, full. Well,
Here we are into the season, but it was full.
But I mean, the side of if you're driving past the bathroom and you look off to the left side, that kind of goes off into the forest and starts going up the hill there.
You're right near the Desolation Wilderness boundary.
Yeah, moving away from the lake, and then obviously the choice campgrounds are closer to the lake, where that rock area is, where we camped at 2 or 3 years ago, when this whole podcast thing began.
That's true. It did start at Barrett Lake. Yes, good reference, Chris.
So
glad you remember that.
I know. Well, I remember a few things occasionally.
You need to get back there. I mean, it is such a cool freaking place.
Well, I would have gone if it wasn't my anniversary weekend. I mean, I was ready to do it.
You're still married, so
I'm still married. So, but right on, man. Sounds like you had a ball. I'm sad I didn't make it, but the weather was cooperative and not cooperative. I mean, you kind of got a mixed bag. You got a little bit of everything for this trip.
We did. We really did. I mean, like from wheeling in shorts and T-shirt to coming out of the Rubicon in full snow gear.
Parka.
I had my heavy duty ski jacket on, thermal underwear underneath, and rain pants on.
Does the CJ have a heated seat?
It does not.
Oh my God.
It does not, but the heater works really well.
Oh, yeah.
Even I just had my bikini top on. I refused to put the top on because I was like, the storm is petering out. If it does, and it will, I knew we were going to get some precipitation. I was glad it was in the form of snow.
Did you have a tarp to cover?
I did. So I got back to camp in time before the heavy snow hit, and Husmann and I were able to cover our rigs before the heavy snow hit. And then the next morning we uncovered the rigs, and they were just, wide open in the sun, and, no muss, no fuss. I'm glad I didn't have the top on. I just love the visibility and the openness of the rig, and, hashtag buggy life. You don't have a windshield. So Husmann didn't have a windshield, so he was a little cold in the morning going out. At least I had a windshield and a heater, and the engine heat coming through that I wouldn't have had in the buggy. So it was great.
Yeah, but you have a heated seat in the buggy.
I do have a heated seat in the buggy, which does help.
You should make a passenger heated seat.
No, we can work on that. I got one. I got one for it. Just haven't hooked it up.
Right.
So anyways, good stuff. So I hope that answered some of the questions of that phone call, and it was very timely that we answered that. But there's plenty of places to park, and the key, I would say, is if you are from out of state, out of town, and never done Rubicon before, is reach out to
Absolutely.
Reach out, throw it out there on Facebook. I see it all the time. Hit up these podcasts. We'd be happy to point you in the right direction.
Or do the Snail Boys. I know you might get weird advice.
Yeah, if you're Toyota and you want some axle advice or something, you can call them up. But we Ice House Resort is a great spot. Now, from Ice House, I will note it's about 20 miles from Ice House Resort to the trailhead. So if you have a buggy, non-street legal in air quotations, you're not going to want to park at Ice House. But if you do have a street legal rig, that is a very good place to store your junk there. Your truck and trailer. And they do have a campground. They do have a few cabins there, a few rooms that you can rent. So if you are just a truck and trailer and you want to spend the night, you get there in the late afternoons. Go into the bar, have a nice dinner, few beverages, go in, stay in a room, and the next morning hit the trail early. But it is a 20-mile trek from there to Trailhead. Yeah. So, but if you do have a hashtag buggy life, you need to drive all the way up to Loon Lake or Georgetown and start the trail from there, even beyond Georgetown. Wentworth, Airport Flats, Gurley Creek, you would stage out of there because then you're right at the beginning of the trail. So, but reach out if that didn't answer all of your question. And talking about our trip here, it's freaking phenomenal. I'm super fortunate that it's quote unquote in our backyard, even though it's a 4-hour drive for us there, which is nothing. These boys in Sacramento, it's a couple hour drive, if that.
They can go over there for the afternoon.
Yeah, you could go up in the afternoon, hit Fordyce and Barrett and Rubicon,
Be home before dinner.
The Nevada people, Hopefully I'll be one of those people soon. Right. Anyways, so that's the, we called it the Barricon 2022. Barricon. Nice. Jason and I called it Barricon 2022.
Well, that's super cool. Super cool.
So,
needle and thread.
What do you got? Because I've been rambling on here.
I don't have a whole lot. I mean, I know that we have. I wish I was on the trip. I mean, obviously, I'm still reminiscing about my one day on Slick Rock.
The 1 day Slick Rock run. Your birthday.
I need to rip off my tie rod and get that straightened out. It's not super bad. But
smiling a little bit.
No, it's frowning a little bit.
Oh, frowning. It's frowning. Okay.
So,
all right.
But beyond that, just going to put the top on and maybe we'll do some snow wheeling this winter. It'll be kind of fun.
Yeah, that is super cool.
Bring on the snow.
Yeah, snow wheeling's fun. And I didn't get out last year snow wheeling, but I want to this year. I will put on the top on the Jeep for that.
Oh, yeah. No, it's...
But the BFG stickies don't like the snow so much. They're kind of like a sponge. They're very porous. They absorb the water and then freeze up, and they don't get much traction. So, I don't know. The buggy's got stickies too. I don't know. We could have fun. I got a snowmobile.
That's right.
I got skis.
You'll figure it out. You definitely.
I got snowshoes.
And I was watching, listening to, or actually I was watching the news the other night, and they said that some of the resorts the temperatures are dropped, and some of the resorts are already making snow.
They're already blowing snow.
Yeah. Boreal and I guess North Star.
Heavenly, they're all blowing snow right now, which is great. And I'm hoping, fingers crossed, Thanksgiving I'll be skiing.
Yeah, well, we'll see. That's about a month away. So, yeehaw! So yeah, winter sports are going to be coming online here pretty quick, and
so. We need to start talking about KOH 2023. It's KOH. Coming up quick.
Yeah.
And Shannon Campbell just released his 2-seat buggy that he's building. New car.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we got a little inside track last year. We met with Shannon Campbell.
We did.
That was a freaking epic.
Oh, my God.
Get for us. And so cool. And he alluded to, hey, it's time for me to get a new car. The kids have their new cars, and it's going to be a 2-seater, so I can get a navigator so I don't get lost and making U-turns out there on the cars. So I am super excited for this build. As he stated here on the gram, the last couple builds were 35 days or so. And, here he's building this other Jeep.
He's building a Jeep
shop,
from scratch.
Yeah, his other shop for somebody.
Is a tub.
Is it for your Jeep or whose Jeep is that he's building? I don't know.
It's gonna be his. It's him and Whalen's.
Oh, you think it's his? I don't know. Is it? Do you know that for a fact?
I think
the Jeep he's building at his house.
I think he said he was going to build a wheeler for him and his kid.
Oh, okay. Could be. I don't know. I just assumed it was for somebody else, but he's going to be building a brand new.
It's going to be badass.
Brand new chassis here, new car for KOH 2023 two-seater.
Mm-hmm.
And the co-driver has yet to been named, but there's been some, alluding to a couple of people. Anyways, super excited. One of the many stories we're going to be following here leading up to KOH. We've got the new Evolve Racing team that has the Tesla motor.
That's right.
And batteries in the Toyota pickup that Keith has converted over. Looking forward to that build. We're going to be interviewing them here shortly. Of course, EVE, we want to get back with Kyle because he is just a freaking riot. That whole gang there, the Ultra 3 gang, camped across from us. We got Megan,
Megan at Count.
D Mill's wife that's racing the Dossie Allington's baby Jeep this year. Brand new, kicked ass so far.
Cal Rocks event
this year, yes, made a great debut. So looking forward to following her at KOH. Ultra 4 Jones, he might be doing King of the Motos.
Oh, boy.
That's going to be a whole story in itself. Stay tuned for that. It just goes on and on. Arturo, Soria, one of our early interviews.
Yeah,
his new
2.
car. So I know he's gearing up. The Wicks, holy crap. They're hitting it hard this year.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to be out there for a week over Thanksgiving, testing and tuning their cars because they are out for blood this year.
Oh, yeah, they want a podium.
Super, super dedicated there. Of course, Slauson, unfortunately, he had some bad roll of the dice here this past year.
Yeah.
Looking for redemption, getting that
mechanical
fourth.
issues. Mm-hmm.
Fourth, I say fourth. 1, 2, 3, 4, Chris. King of the Hammers victory there. It's just going to be so exciting. Shear's got a brand new car.
That's
chassis
right.
coming out. There is so much this year.
Don't forget about the Paul Wolf story.
And then Paul Wolf, who's just kicking ass, and it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. Cody Wagner's car, with all the latest and greatest getting updated there.
Oh, yeah.
It just goes on and on and on. I am so looking forward to KOH 2023. And as information gets leaked out, we are going to provide it to you.
It's going to be nonstop. Looking at the early schedule, it's like holy crap.
So you got King of the Motos like a week before. So it's like a 3-week event.
It's crazy.
You got that first weekend King of the Motos. The following weekend, which is when we arrive, is the trophy trucks.
Right.
And then the following weekend, the end of the event is the main event, 4,400.
And then you got it just never ends. And then, of course, you have the shootout and all the other things that go on with
the shootout. And then
the shootout supposed to be at the back door this year.
It's going to be back at back door, which is going to be freaking great. And then we've got the qualifying course is going to go through Chocolate Thunder, which is going to be a heck of a freaking qualifying course.
And before the show, you and I were talking, and I was asking, are they going to use the short course and race across the desert to do that? So there's going to be this high speed a real high speed section between Hammertown and Chocolate Thunder and then back.
Yeah, I have to imagine. I don't know. Stay tuned. This is going to be great. I am just like a kid on Christmas morning waiting to see what's under that tree.
Absolutely.
So,
right on.
Yeah.
So they obviously will keep you all apprised of the situation as we hear and whether we post it on the IG or we talk about it here on the show.
Oh, and both. So what else you got? I know you had some copious notes over there.
No, I don't have copious notes.
Oh, what happened?
Hold on, let me.
They were on your phone. They're all electronic notes.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, because it's the just I don't know what to say. It's been crazy stuff that's coming up here, and I know there's a couple of things you had on there.
Well, I wanted to talk. While we were recording, we've been drinking some whiskey.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Which one?
Well, we were drinking some Old Elk, and we had a double wheated.
The double wheat.
Double wheat.
And the 4 grain.
And
so what was your favorite of those two?
Well, I started with the 4 grain and I was super, super pleased with it. And then I hit the double wheat and I'm like, wow.
So the double wheat, which I'm super excited about, and that's why I went to our local Total Wine and More, and I said, hey, Chris, they got double wheat and 4 grain here. We need to pick some of this up. And he goes, yes. Didn't even hesitate.
No, not really.
Yeah. And so we've been big fans of Old Elk, as everybody knows that follows the podcast. And so this double wheat is a mixture, 71.5% of their wheat, 25% corn, looks like 3.5% barley. So the alcohol content on this is so aged 6 years.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Of one of their wheats, and the other, so that's their Old Elk wheated bourbon, 6 year,
which is awesome,
which we are big fans of, and then the Old Elk wheat bourbon of 6, 7, and 8 years is added into here. And this, oh my gosh, talk about smooth.
Yeah,
I mean, regular Old Elk is super smooth. But this is just freaking outstanding.
It's like candy.
I love wheated bourbons, and this double wheat is kicking ass right now.
What's the proof on that?
I'm trying to find it right now. I do not see it. I'm going to hand it to you, but I don't know if you can see. You got your glasses on there? We're outside. It's dark.
Oh my God.
It's like 52?
It's like 107.
Oh, is it 107 proof? 107 proof. Here, let me shed a little light on that subject. You see it?
It looks like 107 to me.
Yeah, that sounds about right. 107 proof.
I could be wrong. 57%, 53.55% alcohol,
Yeah.
so 107 proof.
107 proof. So there you go. Bucko
So it's a
7.
little hot, but it doesn't drink
even
hot.
feel like that.
Doesn't drink hot, not at all.
No.
That's so that's a sneaky one. Be careful.
Sneaky Pete. So, and then the 4 grain is a great mash bill here. So the 4 grain is 51% corn, 22.5% wheat. What is that? 18% barley and 7.5% rye. We like the rye.
Oh yeah.
So Old Elk high wheat bourbon of the 6 and 7 year, and then it's got some of the Old Elk wheated bourbon.
Oh, it's like a plethora. It's everything.
It is. Well, this is the 4 grain, and let's see what the proof is on that bad boy. Right there, can you see that?
100.
What do you got?
105.
Bucko 5. So Bucko 5 and Bucko 7. So they're both on the higher end.
But they're sneaky. I mean, they're smooth drinkers. I mean, they're just so good.
And we like to drink it on the rocks. So when it imparts a little water on it oh my God, it opens up and is so good.
Yes, sir.
So those were 2 good bottles. I'm glad I stopped in that day at Total Wine here recently and saw those. And something I've been wanting to try from Old Elk. And man, that neither one of them disappointed.
No, nothing from Old Elk has disappointed at all. I mean, we even have the Infinity bottle and the Infinity blend, and that's
Infinity blend is special, and that's up there too in proof. But
exactly. So,
I'll tell you, between the two, the double wheat, is my favorite of the two.
I agree. I mean, they're both great, but the double wheat, like I said, I hit the 4 grain first, and you should have hit the double wheat first.
So you know what I'd love to do is we need to get somebody in here. To do a blind tasting with us. I mean, somebody that's unbiased that could pour out so they know what's in the glass, but we don't. Mm-hmm. And I'd love to pour the rye because I'm really liking the rye, and the Old Elk rye is great. The wheat, the double wheated, the 4 grain, the regular Old Elk, and just go across the board and just be uninhibited. You don't know what it is.
Right.
And you're just solely lying on your palate and your nose and truly see what you like, I would love to do that.
Let's see if we can make that happen sometime this
blind
winter.
tasting. Yeah, that'd be a good one because we had fun with the blind tasting up there at Meadow Lake.
Yeah. We didn't do it this past summer, but we did it twice the summer before.
Well, some of us might have done it this past summer, but
yeah, okay. That's a nice dig, Dick.
I'm just saying.
All right. What else? Hey, you want to do a giveaway?
Should we?
Let's do a giveaway.
Do we have time?
We have time.
We do? All right, here we go. Chris,
giveaway time.
Chris giving away the farm.
Well, it's only money.
So here we are. So this has been a long time coming. We alluded to this like 3 months ago, and then
we've been so
summer
busy.
got away from us, and here we are, and then gearing up for Trail Hero and all these other runs, and I was like, okay. And so I called up Tyler the other day because literally like 3-4 months ago, he goes, hey, I'll give you a 10.6
compressor,
dual cylinder compressor to give away.
Yeah.
It's a badass compressor. I mean, that thing freaking cranks up.
Moves some air.
And it's designed to be used with the Morphlate system where all 4 tires, because if you're just doing one tire, your standard valve core is not big enough, so you're putting a restriction on that 10.6 pump, and it's going to burn that pump out
exactly
in short order, unless you have the big
monster valves
from Power Tank, which I do have on the Jeep, and those are freaking awesome. I love those. Kind of want to put them on the buggy, but the buggy kind of stays the air down all the time.
You don't air that thing down and up because you're not driving it on the street.
Right, exactly. So Tyler from Morphlate graciously donated to our podcast to give away a 10.6 dual compressor, air compressor. And, again, super cool, a lot of power.
Yeah.
It's got, it'll run for 30 minutes on, 15 minutes off. So 30 minutes with a Morphlate quad, hooked up to all 4 tires. You can get your tires aired up.
You'll be able to air up 40s.
It's literally like within 10 minutes, you can air up all 4 tires, right?
Yeah.
And so this thing cranks out some serious, obviously the 10.6 CFM, and it comes with a carrying bag.
Okay,
and then you got your filters on there. It
ready
goes
to go out of the bag.
It is. And that's the nice thing about it is like, some of us, like my rigs all have mounted air compressor, ARB, whatever, and that's fine. But what's nice about this is it's in a separate bag, hook up to your battery, and so it's portable.
It's portable. It's got an alligator clip.
You want to help out your friends, on the trail.
If you need to air up your Ford tires or whatever.
Right, whatever, you could walk over there to that Dodge that's got a flat tire and air it back up. So it's a good,
that's right.
good
throwing
thing.
It back.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, the key to this compressor is that it should be airing up 4 tires at a time and not just one, because of the
back pressure
10.6 CFM that it's cranking out.
Massive flow.
Exactly. But very cool unit. Super thankful, Tyler, for donating that from Morphlate. And we're going to run this contest for a couple weeks.
That's correct.
Just 2 weeks. And it'll be out there on IG. So look for the post. And you can go on there and make your comment. You're going to have to tag a couple friends. And we will
make sure you're following Wheeling Wine.
You got to follow Wheeling Wine Whiskey. Of course, you got to be following Morphlate.
Follow Morphlate,
and then we will draw a winner from that. But so air up times, just people that aren't familiar with it, is about 6 minutes to do 4 37-inch tires from 2 psi to 30 psi.
That's awesome.
Are you kidding me?
That's awesome.
So
that's 6 minutes. You're going to be 6 minutes faster. You're going to be getting to your destination.
Well, it's just it's a hassle. Air down, air back up, and this makes it not a hassle, and it's a great unit that you can just plug right in. Boom, done. And
quicker to the campground, so you can have adult beverages.
Right, I like that. Exactly right. So, there it is. So look for that IG post.
Yes.
Get in, tell your friends, follow the instructions, and
good luck.
Good luck. Exactly.
So does it have a retail value on that?
It does. $250.
Oof, that's a nice prize.
It's a nice prize.
Hell yeah.
And we haven't given anything away in a while, so we've been a little lax, been a little busy this summer. So it's coming up on the time of the year for giving.
That's right.
Because we give till it hurts here at Wheel Wine and Whiskey, right, Chris?
Right. Sometimes it hurts more than others.
That's right. So great prize, and look for that. So moving on, Chris, anything else?
No, I think we should put a bow on it.
I think we should. We're coming up here on an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And I've been rambling on as usual. I expect you to do some wheeling this winter.
Well, I'm going to snow wheel, that's for sure.
Okay, there you go.
The Jeep, I'll fix the tie rod. I don't even need to really fix the tie rod. I mean, I just want to make sure the ball joints are okay. And anyway, so to wrap this puppy up, if you want to get a hold of Jason, Chris, or I, you can email us at Chris, Jason, or Lorenzo at wheelingwinewhiskey.com. You can also get a hold of us on the IG at Wheeling Wine Whiskey. My IG is www.chrism. I don't really advertise that very much, but some of you people do.
Some people have figured it out.
And then always you don't forget about our phone number. You can you can call it and leave a voice message at 408-800-5169.
That's right, 408-800-5169, just like Johnny did, and make it happen. Yeah,
absolutely. And then
love to hear from our listeners,
and we'll play them. We'll play them back. Absolutely. So. Go to our website, wheelingwinewhiskey.com, where you can see all of our past episodes, our current episodes, and all the links to things like I Rate 4x4, where you can sign up to be a member of our Barrel Society.
Yes, absolutely. Check it out. And, we talked about that before on the previous podcast. It's like, hey, you want to give support, give us a review. You want to throw a few ducats our way, hard-earned money, which is becoming even harder nowadays.
I know, inflation.
But it all helps. It goes back to the podcast and, helps us with this gear. We are super appreciative of it. Not expected, but, every once in a while people feel a little generous and want to throw something our way or support us with merchandise or whatever. Hey, that's awesome. And it's a great family community that we have out there in the off-road arena. And it's just so much fun meeting all of you and seeing you out on the trail. If you go play golf, you might see Chris. So anyways, no, it's all good. So
right.
Chris is building up vacation time, and I think 2023 is going to be your year, Chris.
I'll have a little bit more activity next year for sure. So in any case, I'm looking forward to it. Good times, good stuff. And holidays are almost upon us. So
get ready.
Cooler temperatures. Thanksgiving's right around the corner.
Shorter days.
Get together with your family and friends. And
turkey and tryptophan and whiskey.
Turkey and getting the Christmas lights up. I love this time of the year. It's great. So
yeah, it is. It's great.
You got anything else?
I don't. I think that's it. That's all I got, Chris.
All right. I guess then we're out.